Let's take a look at some of the things you can do with the CXone dashboard in this A Piece of CX. So dashboard for CXone provides you with the ability to see data in a real-time and historic fashion across the breadth of the CXone suite. So it is more than just what's in queue, even though right now what you're seeing from me is a dashboard of what's in queue. However, there's a lot that you can do with this, and through the short video we'll see some of the things that we can do. Just placing a call through to my contact center at a moment. You'll see that I now have something that's queuing. I have a contact that is in queue. I can see my contact states. I have something in queue here. We have some things in post agent. We can see we have no agents available. That's why it's queuing as well. We also have a slightly different view here using what we call a metrics widget as well. Now I'm scrolling down here. Ideally with a dashboard design, you don't need to scroll down. You instead have multiple that you shuffle through, and you can actually project with CXone dashboard as well, which I'll show you in a moment. So we've got a contact in queue here. Other things we can do is click on that contact and see where it's gone, what its durations are. So if I go and make one of my agents available as well, we'll see that update in near to real time. And the thing to note here is if you want to know which metrics within the Nice ecosystem are updated in real time versus a say 10 to 15 minute schedule, go and take a look at the data dictionary. Not every metric is real time. There are certain ones that are though. And you can do different things with your dashboard display around that as well. So we've got our skills at the moment, 50% are in SLA, 50% are out. We can now see we've got an agent handling that contact. If I click on this again, now I can see where it is. Intriguingly, it doesn't tell me who it's with at this time. We can see that was updated. However, what we can really do is start to get into different types of data here. So if I go and have a look at quality, then quality is really well served by CXone dashboard widgets. We have quality scores here. We have evaluated performances and comparisons in different ways of seeing that. Lots of different data points here, and we can see trends. If you're then using QMA, then we can bring those categories through as well. So you can see here we've had an increase in politeness, which is probably a good thing realistically. Other ways to display that though, if I look at my other quality dashboard, is using the metrics widgets as well. So different ways in which we can see things over time. Now, what else have we got here? We've got a metrics dashboard as well. So the metrics dashboards, there's a whole other video on this channel around these. These were added to the platform not too long ago by Nice. It's one of the new parts of the new generation of dashboard. And there's a lot that we can do here. What I also wanted to do was show you just how easy it is to build something. So what I'm going to do is just click on duplicate, and we'll create a duplication of that. And at this point, this is just my dashboard. No one else has access to it, but if I'm happy with it, I could share it and provide it to individuals, for example, or all employees. Up to you what you do. If you add various different people, we'll give it to Barry, for example, then we can decide if Barry owns it or if he views it as well. So we'll save that. So let's add some widgets. If we go and add here in ACD, got a number of different widgets. Quality, again, this will depend on your quality management license and what level of license you have. Analytics comes in if you've got interaction analytics. Coaching, the coaching module is included alongside either PM, performance management, or quality management, and then the metrics, which are only getting added to, we're seeing from Nice. Any of these I can drag in, and I can actually have multiple of the same one if I want to. So say I just want to see how many things are in queue, but I want to change the various different campaigns or skills or levels of contact that we're including. Potentially, we don't need every single point of contact, or we don't need every single campaign that is involved. You can decide that. And if you like something, what you can also do is then duplicate it. Why you need 4 of these for this demo, I'm not sure, but lots of things you can do. I'm just going to add a 5th, aren't I? Here we go. Within any of these widgets, you can go in and you can decide to change the settings, change the paradigm, change the metrics as well. So here I'm doing everything around average handle time. I can go in and I can see various different metrics that I can bring in. Now, metrics are becoming even more interesting because with one of the latest releases from Nice, we now have the ability to create more metrics. So about 180 in the platform. We see about 120 of those in dashboard at the moment. If I click on that, don't quite have the license yet, but the goal is that you can go now into every single metric and you can understand what this is doing, but we're now getting to the point of build your own metrics for dashboards. So very cool if there are certain bits of data you want out of the platform. And once we have access to that, we will be playing with that. Other things to note with dashboards, once I save this, you can project. So if I click on this project dashboard, opens up a new window. Just make sure you haven't got your pop-up blocked on your browser. And here what I can do is then go into settings and I can decide which dashboards I want and via how many seconds do I want them to repeat. Doing every 20 seconds here, that's the minimum. They also project quite quickly. Previous generations of dashboards, once you've got a number of widgets on them, used to take a little while. But here it will just cycle through every 20 seconds with more data. And again, to my point earlier, this is brilliant, apart from I'm having to scroll down. Other things you can do. So this one here, we can see certain coaching events. We can see certain interactions that have been scored. I can click through and have a look at that. So in terms of number of clicks as a supervisor or as anyone managing the contact center, I can reduce that down really nicely. So that's some of the stuff on dashboards. If I now go and take a look at another platform, this platform has performance management enabled, which means one, if I have the permissions to do so, I could play with those metrics, but two, we can add two new widgets. So performance management, we've got challenges and games. So I can now see the games that are across the entirety of the contact center. And also I can create different challenges and I can click here, say the metric that I want to challenge people on. So I'm going to go with after contact work time. I'm just going to select random people. And then I'm going to say when I want that to complete by. And I'm going to wager 100 coins on that. They'll get that challenge as well. And we'll be able to see what that looks like here. One of the other things you can do with certain widgets is also put thresholding on. So here I can go in and set my thresholds on each of the different columns and say what I want it to be, all that kind of good stuff. And I can also do that on quality management. So if I go to my quality dashboard, we can work out what's going on with various different scoring. So here I had to change these recently. There seems to be an interesting evolution in this dashboard widget where it's showing based on score rather than percentage at the moment. So I changed my thresholding around. If I go into settings, I've now changed this around to reflect the score rather than the percentage. And here we can also see we can change different things for thresholds for this. So that's CXone dashboard. A lot that you can do with it. There's a lot of data within CXone Mpower as an entirety of a suite. And with every release, we're seeing more and more capabilities thrown into the dashboard capabilities. Thank you very much for joining.